finally got it. We're assuming that everyone has already watched the movie. So this is the reviews and spoilers of it. So if any of you who are watching the show now have not seen the movie yet,
you had a week. You guys had a week.
Yeah, and if you don't want to get spoiled, then
leave
the channel and come back later. But it's been over a week now, so we're talking about it. So, Murtaugh, let's start with you. What are your thoughts about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Well, first of all, I was never a Deadpool fan at all. I was a Wolverine fan, pretty much part of when he's part of X-Men. That's I mean, if from the Marvel side of it, the main Marvel continuity was, if you're talking about the Avengers and all of them, that wasn't my thing. But the X-Men for sure, and especially Wolverine and Gambit to some degree. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I did. I mean, if I'm ranking all three of them, I say the third one, the first one, and then the second one. So if I had to rank them, all together, but this one was a little bit more, they had a little bit more seriousness and tone that I liked as well, because it fleshed out Ryan Reynolds' character, Wade Wilson. It just fleshed him out way better than the other two did, in my opinion. He was obviously, he was jokey. Obviously, they still rendered the same shots the same way. He tells his story first, how he got to a certain point and all that, which was pretty slick. But when it came to his dialogue, when it came to him delivering that seriousness and that dread, he did a pretty good job with that, because that balanced well to me with Logan's character, because Logan was just like, at first he was like, I really don't give a shit. I don't care why, I don't care. But it was like the more Deadpool got into his head, the more he was like, I really need this too. You know what I mean? And he made him see that, yes, you actually needed that. So, yeah.
Now, Slim Havoc here says something that I agree with him 100%, that they cut a lot of Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I do remember that they had stated, and this is not the first time the MCU, they film something, they get the actor into the lot, okay, let's film this, let's shoot this, but it doesn't make the final cut. Because I do remember that they had announced that Owen Wilson's Mobius was supposed to show up in this movie, and we never saw him. So definitely, I do believe that.
But the third film for me, I would say it felt more like a family film than any of them did, because in the end, Ryan Reynolds, but I mean, but I mean, in terms of who Wade Wilson is, you know what I mean? It started with meeting this girl, and from there, he's got his roommate that he was staying with, and it just kind of branched out from there. And then he ended up,
he built a family.
Right. He ended up actually, he ended up actually caring about people. Exactly. Yeah. He actually ended up caring about someone other than himself. And that all started from that first meeting with her in the bar. That was it for him. And I like the journey that he went on with Logan. That was pretty personable. I had no idea, and I'm so glad I stayed off of the internet. But when they brought back Wesley Snipes as Blade, and Jennifer Garner as I was like, oh man,
that was my favorite. Like when I saw Blade, I was like, I lost my shit. I was in Florida when I went to see it. I was like, I'm not missing this out. I'm gonna go. I told my guys, listen, I'm going to the movies. You guys can come with me if you want. If not, all good. But I am not missing this.
Blade is the reason why I even gave Marvel such as it was back then. I know it was Blade, New Line that was distributing at the time. But
Blade is the OG of comic book movies.
Exactly. It was the first movie that made me say, okay, all right, I'll give Marvel a shot and see how they, and see what they do, because I wasn't really a fan. You know what I mean? Like I said, except Wolverine, that's it. I'm not a Marvel fan at all. And then gave that a shot. And then from there, they've done pretty good. So yeah.
Leo, what's your take on it?
I really loved it. I thought, like, it's funny because I told you guys before that I kind of checked out of Marvel. You know what I mean? I haven't really been following Marvel since like phase 1, a little bit of phase 2, but this movie kind of sucked me right back in. You know what I mean? It made me want to catch up on everything that I missed. And even though there were some elements that I didn't understand because I haven't seen Loki and I kind of didn't understand some of the time travel.
Oh yeah, we did talk about
that,
this the other day. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
because I didn't really get some of that. I mean, it took me nothing to go on YouTube and watch a 10-minute catch-up video just so I could understand what was happening. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought that this was probably the best of the 3 Deadpool movies. I wanted to add on to what you guys were saying earlier when Sid Havoc made that comment. I was going to say, don't worry, because I know with Deadpool 2, and I think, yes, with Deadpool, I don't know if it was with Deadpool 1, but I know with Deadpool 2, they did release like an unrated version. So like they had the 2 versions.
There's actually 3 versions of Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Christmas version. That's right. Or was that Deadpool 1? Deadpool 1 had the Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah. That's right.
So there might be content cut, but it's not like WB. They're not going to hide this in a fucking vault and never show it to us. Eventually, I think this is going to come to disc. We'll see some deleted scenes. They might do an unrated version because the one that we saw in theaters was rated R. So chances are we'll get an unrated version as well. So that'll be pretty cool. Things I really enjoyed about the movie, obviously, were the cameos. I thought the cameos were phenomenal. You know, you guys mentioned Blade. You guys mentioned Elektra, Gambit. I thought seeing Channing Tatum's Gambit was phenomenal because there were rumors about that Gambit movie for so long, and I remember feeling bad for Channing Tatum because I knew he wanted to play that character for so long, never got the opportunity, and I thought that he had the chance to shine in this movie, so that was awesome to see. The Cavalrine. Can we talk about the Cavalrine?
Before we do that, Havoc, we're gonna throw you a drop because you said something here really true, so I want to give you some love. Let me we gotta throw drops also to the crowd, man. Which one we're gonna go to Sin Havoc? I think this is appropriate for you, Sin.
Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fair.
Sin Havoc always has wise words. All I tell you is I listen. That's all I'll say. But yes, the Cavalrine. But before we talk about Cavalrine, Saad, your take on the movie, and then we'll go back to Cavalrine.
I really enjoyed the movie. I've seen it twice, and I think that it did what it needed to do. And like you guys, I got to say, I thought the cameos were all wonderful. I especially like how they teased us, making us think we were going to get Captain America, and we ended up getting Johnny Storm, which I thought was fantastic.
I fell for it. I for a second I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna play it.
I mean, when he did Flame On, I was like, this is literally the greatest reveal of all time because it's subverting expectations, but doing it in a good way. So no, I'm with you guys 100%. I thought it was a great movie, and I would like to see an unrated cut of Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm going to get the soundtrack on vinyl because it had some great music in it, like a lot of great songs that they threw in there, and the songs actually made sense.
And even the remix, like some of the remixes, like the what was it, the Like a Prayer remix at the end?
Yeah,
phenomenal. The way it was done while Wolverine and Deadpool were linking arms together.
Yeah,
had that 360 camera shot. That was like cinema porn. That was like amazing to see.
The one thing that drove me crazy to laugh my ass off when he was dancing.
Oh, right at the beginning, yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Like,
you know, what had me worried?
For a second, I thought it was Ryan Reynolds dancing.
They did really good. I thought it was him too. But you know what had me worried? The only thing that had me worried is I thought that because going into this movie, I knew that this was not the same Wolverine from Logan. I knew they were going to obviously pull him out of another universe. I thought I wouldn't have that same connection to this Wolverine that I did with the Wolverine throughout the Fox universe. You know what I mean? I thought that that was I thought it would be hard for me to connect with this Logan, but I felt like once I saw it play out, the way they told the story was so well done because it brings you right back and you realize that, you know, this Logan's been through so much. He's gone through so much pain. He's lost everybody. You know, he really is the worst Logan, you know, and to see him redeem himself throughout the film was a beautiful arc. It was phenomenal. So I loved the movie and I wanted to make sure we touched on that because yeah, I thought it would be hard to connect to a new Logan, but the way they did it was just, it was a masterpiece in my opinion. Masterpiece.